Let's go. Feel that. Hello and welcome to yet again another episode of the Brody Moore podcast. Y'all also know me as Liefx. We're still working on the name. We're still figuring it out. But again, BMP is fine, but it looks like other people have. I don't know. Keep the suggestions coming in the comments below if you're listening on Spotify. That's right. We're over there. Make sure you're hitting the follow button. And thank you so much to the 3 people that are actually paying for the podcast. You're crazy, but I appreciate the support for the podcast, for the channel. If you want to get involved in the comments, come on over to YouTube. That's where the discussion is happening, and that's where everything is going down. So you can get down there, leave a comment, leave suggestions on who you think you want to see coming up next, and also the subscribe button and the like button while you're down there. I mean, because it doesn't really hurt you that much. But I do want to warn you guys to remember Boston coming up. This might be the last episode before Boston, where, reminder, I'm looking for suggestions for content, things you think I might provide a good look into while I'm there. I'll be bringing a camera and some microphones. So any content that you'd like to see, I got a couple ideas, but I'm always down to hear some suggestions. When we come back after that, there might be one more episode before this, but we'll have season 2. I'm going to try to switch things up, and we'll see what's going on. But anyways, you don't need to hear anything else from me. We got a legend on the line, and we got to get talking to him. Okay, sitting here, hanging out with me today, legendary RLCS pro player. I'm going to say his name. I'm going to get it wrong. I tried before. It's Otto. Kaipiainen.
There you go.
Okay. A.K.A. Metsanauris, the legend. What's going on, buddy? It's been a long time since we chatted.
Yeah, we're good. A lot has happened since we probably last talked, but yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of ups and downs, but life's good right now.
That's good. Hey, you know what? Off the bat, I like to hear that life's good because, I mean, obviously the biggest news people are going to be tuning in for, maybe we should talk about it later because then they have to listen to the lips. Now, what we'll talk about is obviously recently you put out an announcement that pro play for you is going to be done. You're hitting the big old retire button, and I was scared. I always get scared when some of my favorite players in the game say this, but what you followed it up with was awesome, is that you plan on staying in the scene.
Yes. Yeah, basically it's been a long road, and yeah, definitely I think this is the right time to make this step. I want to definitely stay involved. Like, it's very hard for me to like go out of Rocket League now, since I've been doing this for the past 6 years. Every day it's been Rocket League. So I don't really have another path anymore.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that. We'll start, like, let's go back to like the beginning then. Obviously, you know, for you, who was Otto before this? Like, were you always a competitive hardcore gamer? This just fall into your lap? Like, what was because most of the people that are pro players kind of were on that trajectory, right? I assume it was the same for you.
Yeah, I'm not like such a hardcore gamer as most people are, I think, in esports, where that's like, especially in Rocket League these days, the teenagers, that's all they, yeah. These people don't really, because they're so young and they just get good at the game very fast. I think they miss out a lot on the social aspect of life and school and all that. So yeah, I've never been like a really hardcore gamer, but I've been very invested in the games that I play, so I tried to get good at them, and then it kind of happened with Rocket League. I never intended to go pro, but slowly and slowly I got better and better, so it just, at some point I was like, yeah, might as well give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, so, because for you, you didn't, when did you start? Were you about 17 when you started?
Yeah, well, I went pro when I turned 18-ish, so...
Okay.
I think like 17 is when I was in the bubble scene and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you're grandpa now. That's what we have to. Don't worry, I'm in the grave. I'm way past that. But actually, that's a curious thing. Before we continue on your journey, I always ask I ask Chrome this as well. Do you think the age for pro players is going to go further than this? Because it does seem early 20s is like kind of the cutoff.
Do you mean like people are gonna get
like, is Zen gonna end up being 30 before he retires?
No.
Okay.
I think this game is so different to any other game where you don't actually have to learn as much strategy and stuff like that as you do in other games. And I think like mechanical players in this game are so much on a higher pedestal than in other games. So and especially when it's only 3-player teams, it like makes the difference even bigger, because if it's a 5-player game, then obviously you're gonna have some players that don't need to step up as much. But I think in the future it's gonna be even more and more. Everyone needs to be mechanical and pull off crazy plays and stuff like that.
All right, all you 20-year-old players right now, start giving up on your hopes and dreams, because it's almost over for you.
I wouldn't say it's impossible, because I've never been a very mechanical player, and I made it to almost 25. So
true.
If you're a Zen, like, you can definitely go higher than me. I was never the talent that everyone wanted to pick up, you know. So if you're a Zen, if you have the right mindset, he can go way beyond what I did.
True.
For sure.
And some of with having the mechanics early on is that's going to just be muscle memory for this guy going forward too, which is going to help significantly. Okay, so for you though, obviously, kind of on that note, I want to talk about just like every season seemed to have like its own kind of meta shift, you know, like around season 3, I think Weedham Girls, we had, you know, like backboards were crazy. Then you started seeing double taps. Then you started seeing, you know, your ceiling shots, then it flip resets, and then all this stuff. Did you hate how much it shifted? It seemed like season to season, or was it kind of exciting to see it kind of always be a new thing?
Well, when you're a pro player, you don't see that meta shift.
I guess you
like
just
you live the game.
Yeah,
you live the game every day, and you learn. When other people pull out some crazy stuff, you start studying it, and like everyone copies each other, right? So, but I think especially that like Dignitas era, it wasn't that much about the mechanics and stuff. It was their team play and like the passing plays, and they played the perfect play style back in the day. It felt like, so that was way more annoying, just playing against a team that plays like a perfect Rocket League on the paper, than actually like, they do crazy mechanics. Like I think you can definitely beat people that do crazy mechanics, but if a team plays perfect team play, then they're very hard to beat.
Yeah, if the ball's not, if it's going over there where I can't even see, and also what do you do? That's so fun though, in my opinion. The funnest things to do is mostly because I do not consistently hit flip resets, but like the thing to me that's most fun is passing over flip resets any day. In my opinion, it's like I feel like that's just when you connect with other people on a perfect play, it feels so good.
Well, I think I feel really good with the team plays as well, but like when you've done them a million times before, it's not like that big of a deal. It's the same thing with mechanics as well, but like when you're a competitive like pro player, I think what's the most enjoyable is when you're dominating a game, like when you control the pitch and it feels like you're in control, like you feel like very powerful. I think that's the most fun, because then you can do all those like solo plays or team plays or whatever. It feels like you're playing free.
Yeah, no, well, because it takes the stress off. You don't feel like you're playing from behind the whole time, right?
Yeah.
It's a flow
when
state.
you get like owned or like getting pressured the whole time, it is like really suffocating, and like it's hard to enjoy, like because you are just like one step behind.
Right. Yeah. And it's just because a game of stress. And that's why I don't like playing ones. It's the same feeling, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't think anyone likes playing ones though that much.
I wonder if any of like the top ones players enjoy it either, or if they're just doing it because like, well, I'm good at it, I may as well keep being good at it.
I think they only like it because they win the majority of the games. If they were like losing more games than they were winning, it gets on your nerves.
I wonder if that's like the perfect game mode to actually shut your brain off in, so that you don't realize the in between. All you know is at the end, oh wait, I won. I let my mechanics take.
Yeah,
that's true. But it does make you better. I don't know. Did you play a lot of ones to like get better at all?
I used to be a once main before I went pro. I think that's the easiest way to learn as well, because a lot of the times teammates hold you back in learning. But when you're just playing one-on-ones, you learn at your own pace, and you have to improve if you wanna get better, and you can't blame anyone except for yourself. So I used to be once main, and then that's how I found my first teammates and stuff, through ones and twos. And then after that, I slowly started playing it less and less. I never did like ones tournaments after I joined a team, but like before that, I did some tournaments. I actually played against Dapper, like really back in the day. It was like mocky tournaments or something, and that was my first tournament ever. I played a once tournament, and I played him in the finals, I think, and it was like a really close game. Went to like overtime, and then I lost in the finals, and that was my first tournament. I was like, man, that was sick. I think you can get some prize money for that as well. It was like $100 tournaments or whatever, and then it kind of fuels the fire when you do good in a tournament.
Right. Well, because all of us, for multiple reasons. One, just the adrenaline of competing is phenomenal, right? Like, it's just knowing that the thing you're attempting to do right now is like, first off, winning, it's great. But also even just knowing you did good in a whole tournament against a bunch of people, even if you come second, it's like, dude, I want to do this again. I'm good at this. And then winning money is honestly, I mean, that's good too, right? Even if it's a little bit, it's like validation to your hours that you put in.
The more you play tournaments, the more you need the tournament adrenaline, because then rank that feels irrelevant at that point.
Well, that's an interesting discussion too to have. Is for competitors, it always feels like, you know, just as humans in general, we're what drives us is having a goal, something to work towards, right? The thing that drives most of us in this world right now is getting money to pay rent and have food, right? That's the kind of the baseline goal everyone's going to have. You take away that baseline, like say you don't need to work for money anymore. What becomes your new goal? Do you start having more hobbies? Do you just sit there and laze around? Like what do you, usually there's a goal. So when you attain your goals, it's kind of hard to then, like keep that motivation. I find. Did you lose motivation a lot throughout your journey, or do you feel like you never attained like what you wanted as a person?
I think like for me, it's always been like that. I need something to work towards, and for the past 6 years, it's always been Rocket League, and I never felt like I have nothing to work towards. And the further into my career it went, the more I had things to work on. It felt like, because at the start, like I think as a young guy, if you're a pro Rocket League player, like it kind of just happens. People don't think it's like half natural to everyone, and you kind of learn as you go, and you don't really think about what you're doing wrong and what you should improve at. But the later in my career, I love that art of improving and having things to practice and getting better at the game. I like at some point it turned from not just enjoying the game, I just enjoyed the improving and working on something to be better at every day. And that's been the hardest part, I feel like, with the retiring stuff in the past month or whatever. I think it's been like very tough just waking up, and then you're in bed and you're on Twitter, and if there's no reason to wake up, like there's no reason to get up and have a goal for the day. And that is very draining for me, at least.
Well, no kidding. I mean, like it's especially, you know, I'm hoping that you're going to be able to get onto a team as a coach or something soon, so that you have a goal because then you have a new goal, right? Like you have something that's a different skill set that you have to have, but it's good to have a goal. So yeah, it's interesting when you don't have that. So did you have any other like hobbies in between to supplement that? Because I know I was talking to Lion Blaze a bit ago, and he's like, you know, even just getting like a dog or something helps kind of give you a little bit of extra something in that day, even if everything else is kind of not happening right now. You at least, okay, I got a dog I can take for a walk. There's miniature goals to go on. Did you try to build anything like that, or was Rocket League like a pure focus in your life?
It always, like the past 6 years, it's been like every day I have something to work towards in Rocket League pretty much, and then when I do other stuff, obviously then you kind of let it go for a little bit. But like always, when you wake up, there's a reason to get up every day and get better at. But obviously, I just like the improving thing. So I've started to do hobbies where I've found that aspect. So now I've been doing a lot of disc golf, and then
nice.
It's I don't know if it's called rock climbing or bouldering, but yeah, I've been getting into that.
Bouldering is the when you have no harness, it's just the smaller ones. Yeah, and then you're rock climbing over the cliffs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So bouldering, yes, I've been getting into that, and that like those are sports where the improvement is so easy to see. And it's kind of like a Rocket League in a sense, where like you practice a mechanic and it's so easy to see if you're getting better at stuff. So yeah, I found those kind of things. Then obviously I have had a life outside of Rocket League as well. So like I have a girlfriend for 8 years now, and like that's been a big part of when I'm not playing Rocket League, and then spending time with her and friends and stuff like that. But then now that I haven't had Rocket League to do, then it's like it feels a lot of empty time in the day.
Yeah.
And don't know what to do.
That's the only reason he agreed to the podcast. He's like, I wouldn't come on otherwise, but I got nothing better to do. So
you know very well that I want to do podcasts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know.
I even said it in the tweet.
I knew you would. But yeah, okay. So, for you, what is your? I imagine you console in your girlfriend a lot then about this stuff, because like, obviously waking up and having the shock of having nothing there, like if, as you said, feels empty. Like I feel like it can overwhelm you. Something like it could lead to some depressive holes. And days of just feeling sad and, as you said, empty. What does your girlfriend think about it all as well? I assume she's a good support for you.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you got a toxic relationship.
Yeah, well, it's like that's the only person I can talk to every day about whatever is the problem. But then, yeah, I've had a lot of sessions of crying and thinking about what is life anymore when you kind of lose the purpose. But yeah, I'm a very positive guy and stuff like that. I'm very lucky to not feel like depressed or anything like that usually. So I think about things a lot, and then I have something that I want to improve at and get better at, and then enjoy life again.
Well, that's good to hear.
It's been harder now, like this year, than before.
Yeah, I wanted to, because has this been like something that you've been thinking about for a bit? Because I imagine, because obviously there was a bit in your career, there was a bit of a dip, and you were always working towards it, but obviously other players took the spotlight for a bit. You came back super hard, especially with Endpoint. Like it was super fun to see kind of a resurgence. Was there a point already in the career where you're like, I wonder how much longer this is going to last, where you started thinking about this stuff? Was it recently, or was it earlier? Because I imagine if it's earlier, that can start to interfere with your motivation to try and get better. Where did the thoughts of, I wonder how long this is going to last, start hitting?
Well, before I always had like an org, and I had a purpose. Like even like after TSM and stuff like that, I was on Endpoint, and I love Endpoint, and I had even when we were not doing that good with the roster, we always were improving and having a purpose every day to scrim and get better. And at that point, it never felt like I'm not enjoying this. It just felt like, yeah, we can get better, and at some point it's gonna pay off, which it did eventually.
Right.
But when the things started going bad in that sense is after last season, when we had the great season with Endpoint, and then Seiko left for BDS, and we had Archie for the last split, but it kind of felt like he was never gonna be there for the long term.
His mind might have been elsewhere or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wei wanted to try new things as well. Obviously, we'd been teammates for 2 years at that point, and yeah, he's a great player, so he deserves to try whatever he wants, I think, because we're running out of contract. And then after the best season I've had in years, then it turned out I didn't really have a lot of opportunities for a team for the next season. I was like expecting get some opportunities and build something great, but at that point made a last minute team when everyone was already teamed. It was kind of like, well, other people are already teamed, let's make a team. And then I was there in a situation where I don't think anyone believed in that project as much as you should for a team to work.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the beginning of the end, because after that, that I didn't want to be in that team for the next split, and they didn't want to play with me, and it felt like a bad situation. So I was gone from that team. Then no one made a roster move for out of the top 16s, not a single one made a roster move. So I just got into a team and tried to practice and have a purpose. Didn't go very well. We didn't make a single main event with Speed and Yukio that's played, and then I very much enjoyed playing with them, at least. So that was nice, and very much respect to those guys. I definitely needed that split of just enjoying the game. And then the next split comes. Kind of opportunities are not really high. Then I kind of feel like I have something going for me again. Was gonna team with a guy and then look for another third, and then last minute again things fell apart. We had a team of 3 confirmed. We had talked, made sure we're a team, let's do this. We didn't publish it yet, and then one guy leaves. Then we still have the duo. We're looking for another third, and last day before signups close, he leaves. And then at that point I was like that was gonna be like, I finally felt like that was a project I could believe in, and then it kind of
that's so annoying, you know. It's like if it's for me, it's like if someone has to cancel. I'm just relating this to like canceling plans. You know, you're going out for dinner or something. It's like if you got to cancel, and like if it's last minute and you're like family emergency, this is what's happening. I'm like, yeah, sure, obviously that takes priority. If you even cancel a day before saying, hey, unfortunately I can't do that anymore, even that's fine. But when it's last minute like that, like if a day before a team and like you can't find, oh man, that just boils my blood. I get so mad about that.
And I've been through so many just disappointments and like stuff like where it feels like I know it didn't turn out good for anyone in that situation, and I knew that it was not gonna. But what am I gonna do? Like I can't change anyone's mind, and it is what it is. And then it's just. At that point, it felt like I don't know what to do. I was thinking about maybe I should call it quits there, but then made a last-minute team for that split and enjoyed playing there. But then, at the season ends, I hear it's could be a long off-season even, and it feels like I have nothing going for me. No one wants a similar project to me. Like the opportunities that I want weren't there anymore, so like I'm just banging my head against the wall and trying my everything, and like everything is just coming back at me, and that's when it got demotivating, and that's when I was thinking, I think this is it.
Yeah, so it wasn't until the last couple teams that you're like, all right, what's kind of going on here? Yeah, that's
and you're not getting paid, and you're giving your all, and it just feels like you're not going anywhere anymore.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's definitely frustrating. Not to focus on all the negative, but I'm your therapist right now, and we get it out there. But it really is just frustrating, especially when you in your own head when it can click of like, okay, is this coming to an end? When you think that was it just like was it fear? Like were you scared? Like what was when you start to think okay, maybe I'm retiring soon. What's the emotion that clicks? Is it just kind of sadness that it might be coming to the end, or?
Yeah, I think sadness is a good word for it. When like it's been everything, and then it's like it's like you see your dream in front of you, and it's just crumbling down. You just watch it fall down in front of you, and you can't do anything about it. Then, like, yeah, I think at that point, yeah, it is sad.
No, I feel it
really.
Because I mean, I again, I'm not playing. My goal, my dream as a player. So I'll say I'm still envious of you. My dream as a gamer was always to be a professional player in something. I always wanted to, right? You know what? I'm pretty happy being a professional commentator because at least I get to be in esports in a professional thing. But I think about it too. I'm like, you know, if something changes with the esport, or it's like say tomorrow, just the whole thing goes, right? It's like what am I doing? And that thought is just, it's sad because we genuinely all enjoy what we're doing, right? So when a hobby like that can go away, and sometimes it's out of your control as well, like you clearly have the motivation to keep going, but it's when some things are out of your control. If you're learning how to, your hobby is yo-yoing or woodworking, that's in your hands, right? Like you can just keep doing that. Unless we run out of trees, then you can't. But like, yeah, we're probably not gonna, and you can keep making stuff. But for something like this, it really is hard. It's a weird dynamic to have so much of it out of your own hands, right?
And I feel like I've never felt like I've underappreciated what I have, and I've given my everything for the past 6 years for living my dream. And then, yeah, it's very hard to live your dream for that long, and then it kind of goes away, and you have no idea what is your next dream even.
Right. Hey, well, you know what? If he's gonna immediately turn this down. I'll team with you. All right. I'll put the drive in. I told you I want to be a pro. I won't be, but I'll try.
Yeah, just watch our third ditches last moment.
Oh no. Oh man, no. Well,
that's a life.
Oh man,
you don't want to sign up for that.
Just no. We'll get someone as equally as bad as me, so they're just as motivated, right?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it all. I don't think no matter what the situation is, people are gonna ditch.
All right. Well, hey, if you're volunteering and not wanting to ditch, let us know in the comments below. Who would join the team?
I don't believe a single one of you anymore.
Oh no!
I've lost faith.
Oh no! I think it's hard in a competitive environment, right? I think because there's definitely a point where some people go past. Like for you knew your drive, right? Your drive was that you wanted to have something to work for, something to care for. Obviously, the money is important because to put that much time into it, you need to have compensation for it. But like it sounds like for you, the drive was to be just be the best player that you can be, build a project with a team. But I bet you there's a lot of players that don't really see it that way. They see it as, okay, this paycheck. And when you have that disconnect in motivation, I feel like that's where a lot of that friction can happen.
Yeah, and I think people don't even see it as a paycheck. They just see it as just a part of their life that happened to them, and they don't really think about it as your biggest opportunity in your life. It's just everyone kind of, it feels like takes it for granted. When you get to a team, then you just think of how can I get into a better team, and that's their goal, to get into a better team and win tournaments and win championships, and not really putting the effort into just making every day into a better player and better team.
Do you think that's because of the age? Like, do you feel like maybe it's just because when I was like 16, 17, I didn't really know who I was. I mean, like you did, your brain feels smaller, right? Like it's not fully developed yet. You don't feel like you don't think what's happening tomorrow, what's happening the next day, right? Like it's kind of all just like what's happening today. Do you think that the age plays a lot into how motivation works for a lot of these teams?
Yeah, definitely. And especially when you're surrounded by other teenagers, like if you're a 16-year-old, but you're learning from a 25-year-old or 29-year-old every day and you talk to them, you're going to learn to appreciate things a lot differently. And if you've been in a day job or if you've been living other aspects of your life, I think you'll appreciate it a lot more. But I think this is their life. Like this is the norm for them. So it makes like complete sense. And then you're in a team with two 16-year-olds when you're a 15-year-old and your coach is 18 and all of you are just there to like cash in and just talk to your mates every time and you make friends on Discord on other Rocket League pros and you boost your ego.
It definitely feels like that could be an environment that could lead to instability. That's for sure. Well, I mean, for you now, then, like going forward, obviously your goal is to stay in, and that made me so happy because, like, talking to you right now, it sounds like all hope of the world has gone out the window for you. You're like, I'm a positive guy. Also, everything sucks because it does. Like, the reality is, like, putting myself in your shoes, I could easily start tearing up right now thinking about being in your position, right? So it genuinely is a moment of just ripping yourself apart of who you are and then trying to piece that back together. And I hope that you can piece that stuff together quickly for your own sake. But it like, do you think coaching and stuff is going to be that drive you need? Is there a goal to work on content outside of that? What do you think are the pieces that Otto needs to bring himself back together here and have that shining light again?
I think also I've done my fair share of crying, but I think now it's like
game time.
I moved on. But because we're just like talking about how I felt and what happened. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It's been easy. Like it's been very tough. But
of course.
But now I feel like once I got the announcement done and everything, now it feels like I can move on and start finding projects. And I think that's what I need. I need like projects to like enjoy. And actually had my first MetaFi coaching session today with someone. I had a great time and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it felt great. Just I woke up at 7 a.m. Like insanely tired. I slept for like 5 hours, but it felt like I was excited for the day because there was something to look forward to. So yeah, just I don't know exactly how the balance is gonna be, but I think what I want is to have a team to coach and then have the MetaFi thing running, and then I can do content around that to like move people towards my MetaFi and other social medias where I can share my passion with other people. And I think like I want to do YouTube stuff that I've never really done about. I want to just talk about how it is being a pro player and what it takes to become a pro player and why I retired and everything around that, and then like teaching about Rocket League on YouTube and sharing what I feel like is Rocket League.
You have knowledge and a skill set that a majority of the world does not have, right? This is something unique that you have. So first off, I just want to say it makes me super happy hearing how motivated you were today to hop on that. By the way, if y'all need a coach, the link will be below. Get on it.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Let's run it. Let's push it. But I think that's it's good that you're like, you did what you know as a human being you need to do, right? You need to think about the reality of the situation, feel the emotions you need to feel, but then get back to who you are as a person, and that's someone that's driven towards something. And now you have goals to work toward. I mean, like you just listed 5 things right off the bat. All are going to take so much work, and it's going to keep you busy. So I think it's good that you kind of have a clear path forward for yourself of what you want to work on. I think that's great.
Yeah, and I tend to have always things that I want to try and want to do. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. But now I got like a bunch of ideas I just want to do, and the doing part and then the executing part is the hardest part because I don't really know what I'm doing, honestly. Like, I'm lost in life. I spent 8 hours a day every day playing a video game and not learning any useful skills on my PC. So I am a little lost, but I'm learning.
The biggest thing. Well, hey, by the way, I'm always a resource if you ever need. I've done a lot. I have ADHD, so it's been very hard for me to get things going as well. Recently, I've been doing a ton to keep myself organized through automating my calendars, to creating workspaces where I can quickly take notes, start projects. That way, it's because it's easy to say, "Ooh, here's a great idea," but then if you don't write it down, you forget about it and never get started, right? So. I'm sure you got a lot of resources too, but here's another one for you. If you
I appreciate that. I never want to budge anyone. If I can figure it out by Google by spending 4 times as much time, I'll Google it and then don't bother anyone else. Because I feel like if I ask for a favor, then it feels like I owe them. Like, yeah, that's just how it is. It feels like a burden. No. To me, even if it doesn't feel like a burden to them.
So that's because you're such a nice person, and that's exactly why people won't think that anything is owed, because they want to help you out because you're such a nice person. Right? So you're good.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, and
I hope to give help to other people.
True.
So then I can ask them for help. That's when I feel good about asking for help.
It's one of the things I realized about myself was one of the things I actually enjoy in life is just teaching things to people. I don't know. I love sharing knowledge in a more efficient manner because, like, as you said, I spend hours and hours on YouTube and forums and Reddit and all that, figuring things out for myself, and being able to condense that down into something that can get someone started a lot quicker. I find that fun. That's what I was suggesting. I think more people... I think if people help you out, they're not looking at it like anything's owed here. Some people just like helping out, so that's their
maybe
thing.
I'll just have to tweet out something and say, like, can someone help me with this? And then the people that really want to help, they're gonna message me, and then I don't feel like I'm asking anyone.
That's just true. You're getting the people that will take the initiative of doing it. My advice, and this is to everyone too, is if you do feel like there's something where you're stuck, don't be afraid to ask for help. I think people like helping more than we give each other credit for. So don't be afraid if it means it can get you on your feet quicker, because it's important, right? Obviously you don't want to sit through a period of feeling frustrated in yourself again, because you're a pro player, so you already probably know that to win you have to lose, right? Like you don't learn without loss. So I'm sure you're already in a good mindset going forward of like knowing that there's going to be a learning period for some of these things you're doing, right?
Yeah. And I went in a coaching session today. I was very nervous about what I'm doing, but then, like, as I get asked questions, I'm very good at responding to the questions, but it's hard for me to know the structure of a coaching session, for example, or what I need to have prepared. I over-prepared, I think, a little bit for that session, but then I still was under-prepared because I didn't know half the things I should do, and I didn't have an app where I can draw with a pen on my screen and like everything. I should have some basic concepts ready, easily explainable, because then when you're gonna winging it, you don't even know where you're going half the time.
Maybe have your own glossary that it's like, oh, I noticed this person's got this thing. All right, here's a plan I can pull in for this person, kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
By the way, Epic Pen. That's what you want.
Yes, I did download that after my session today. I downloaded that. Now I'll spend 4 hours trying to figure out how to use
the hotkeys and everything.
Yep.
That's great. Yeah, no, but that's the thing. It's like, you're good. I'm assuming you walked away from that saying, okay, I'm going to get a little bit better at this next time.
I'm going to get a lot better at it. And I have belief in myself. Like, when you make it as a pro player, I think anyone is going to be like feeling like they can achieve whatever they want. Because this is the hardest thing to achieve for most people. That like you're gonna be such a small percentage to achieve things like what I feel like I've achieved. So I have a lot of self-belief now, and I know I'm not gonna be good at coaching at the start, but I know if I put in the work, I'm gonna be great at it at some point. But yeah, it takes a lot of work, and it's kind of stressing me out being not that good at the stuff.
Yeah.
And then
If
you learn as you go.
Just think about this. Look at how you look at your Rocket League play in the past year compared to your first year, right? Make that comparison now. You probably look terrible in your first year compared to now. So you'll make that progress. So it's okay to be bad at something at the beginning. Who was it? I think it was Patrick. Was it Patrick that said it from SpongeBob? It was like, no, it was Jake. It was Jake from Adventure Time. Sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something.
Yeah. And I know that, but it is so hard when you're sick. Like when I'm good at something, and then you leave that all behind, so just to be bad at something, and you kind of feel like you're starting over on life again.
Right, and it also is hard with progress because as you get better, and you kind of said this too, is when you're becoming a pro player, it's like you don't really think about it, you just do the stuff, get better, right? It's the same thing of like, and this will happen to people in ranked. I'm sure this is why people smurf. Is to kind of give themselves that reminder that they have grown. So if you're doing something new, it like coaching and all this, it can be hard to see your own growth. Like obviously you can compare it to yourself. Be like, am I growing faster than other people would, or am I not growing fast enough? So it can be hard to find that comparison of like, am I getting better at this thing, especially in a field that you're unfamiliar with.
Yeah, and I think I have experience in team environments a lot, so I feel like I could be a lot better at coaching a team than I am at individuals, since I have no experience. So I'm going into it without knowing what is gonna happen in this session or what is gonna be the goal for today. But yeah, I feel like I learned so much today, and it went like way better than I thought.
That's good
already, because I want to have like constructive criticism, and I didn't get any except for getting the epic pen. So so it felt good, and I feel like I was surprising myself with knowledge that I could pick up from watching stuff.
You don't realize how much you know until you have to apply it. Right?
Yeah.
When it's Rocket League, you just do it. When you got to talk, we're like, whoa, I actually do know a lot. Holy smokes! You know what? Metafy is like. Think about it this way: it's the 1v1s of of coaching. Literally, it's you might be a little stressed out doing it, but you're going to learn a lot that you can bring to your 3v3s.
Yes, that. Perfect comparison, actually. I didn't think about it, but now that you said it, I believe that.
Hey, look at me. I'm a coach. I'm a life coach, though. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm on Metafy, but do not pick me up. Pick this guy up instead. That's for sure.
He's got more experience than me, probably. That is. So.
I have more experience using Epic Pen. I don't have more experience with the game Rocket League than you.
I got some Rocket League experience.
Just a little bit, right? How many hours did you end up with by the end?
Okay, I can check, but I think I'm at 14,000.
Oh my god!
Around there. Okay, let me see. I can check it real fast, I think.
What is the average for pro right now? Do you think is it?
Well, they're 15-year-olds, so they probably have like 4K or something. But
yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm 14,037 hours. So when I stopped playing, I think that was like 14,000 pretty much exactly.
That's insane. That's a lot of time.
It is a lot of time.
Like people would look at my hours.
Pretty much in 6 years. Well, I bought the game in 2015, so it's 8 years. But like the first couple years, I didn't really play that much. But after that, it's been very consistent grinding.
Yeah, like because like you even look at my hours. I think I'm at 6,500, and like that compared to the average gamer, that is a lot of hours into an individual game, and I'm not even half of yours. Like that is mind blowing. How many hours is I can't do the math in my head. So we had what, the 7 or 8 years you said we divvied up by?
Okay, so it was October 2015 when I bought it, so it's almost 8 years.
Okay, we'll just
I'd say 7 is more realistic because first year I played like 100 hours.
Okay, we'll go with that. So we have 2.5. Okay, so then we take your hours, 14,000, and we divide that by the days, right? Or is the days divided by the hours? I think it's this way. So that's about 5.5 hours every single day. If you didn't take a single day off for 7 years straight, you did 5.5 hours every day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's even before I went pro, so it wasn't my job. So I had a lot of breaks and stuff like that.
Imagine like someone like working a job and you have 6 hour shifts every single day, no vacation for 7 years. Yeah. That's what you did. That's crazy. If I did my math right, someone will point me out in the comments if I did it wrong, but that's crazy. That's why.
Sounds about right.
You must have liked the game.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm assuming you still like it and you're going to keep playing it.
I'm not going to lie. Like, every day it's been like, because I've always been like, I need to play Rocket League today, and it's felt like a burden a little bit even.
Right.
Because it's like a burning thing in my chest that feels like, I got to play Rocket League today. I feel like I'm lacking behind. So, so ever since a month ago, I played like a Finnish tournament. I had like 10 hours past 2 weeks for that. Just played a couple days before to get some touch, and then I played very, very little because I've enjoyed life. The summer is great right now in Finland. The temperatures are high. Everyone's on vacations, and I've been living life.
It gives you a different perspective, right? Because sometimes it's very easy. This is just being in a digital world in general. It's very easy to like let our mind seep into the internet and exist outside of our immediate space, right? Like it's very easy, even being in my living room or being in my room here right now, it's very easy for my brain to not be present and to be thinking about things that are happening in other places of the world. And so to be able to pull yourself back, well, kind of what you're able to do now is get yourself away from the game, be present in the world that exists around you is so, I don't know, relaxing. It feels like a lot of the stress just disappears.
I don't think any of my stress disappeared, but it has felt like I've actually not thought about Rocket League for multiple days in a row, which has never happened before. Yeah,
that's hard to do unless you're present with people, with company or something that's engaging for you, right? It's like same thing. If I'm at home, there is one part of the day I will eventually say I'm going to get on for at least an hour and play Rocket League. It's an inevitability unless I'm out and doing something. Even then, I might think about it. No, that's good to hear. Because I think it's important sometimes to make sure that even if you still enjoy something, that you're making sure that it's a healthy amount of consumption of that thing. Because it's like you can still enjoy Rocket League, but the second that your body is saying you should be doing this, even though you don't want to at the moment, or you feel that expectation to do it, or someone is telling you to do that thing, it kind of takes away from the enjoyment of that thing. I hated people telling me what to do in school. I ended up dropping out after 4 years of computer programming because I like building projects, but I didn't like people telling me what to build. Right?
Yeah.
That's when you realize I need to do this on my own time or find something else at that point.
Yeah, I believe that. And I feel like for me, it's always been, I kind of have to, like, I've been my biggest motivator, and like people around me are like, do you really have to play every day? And it's like, yes, I have to.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Now I've kind of felt the different side of life and not played, and I've like forcefully, even if I thought I could play Rocket League right now, I've just been like, maybe not. We'll see how this goes.
Okay. You're trying trying to forcefully curb the addiction. You're like, don't pick up the controller.
Actually, I haven't had my controller on my table, so that has helped.
That helps a lot, right? Mine is right here. That it's very easy.
Yeah, well, now mine is here as well because of the coaching session as well.
Oh, sure.
This is gonna be. It's gonna be.
Oh no, the temptation's back.
Yeah, it's back. But I look forward to having Rocket League sessions where I can just enjoy the game and not think about if my rank is bad or if I'm disappointing someone. Like, I can just enjoy the joy of Rocket League, which is the best game there is.
Hey, if I don't think I have you on scene, but I was gonna say if I see you on, let's do some tournaments. You'll very quickly get over the want to win because it won't happen.
Okay, I'm definitely not going on NA servers because that's not enjoyable.
Okay.
My ping on the USC servers, I do still enjoy being good. So feeling like I'm playing on high ping, I'm not gonna enjoy that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not any good at ping pong, but if all of a sudden the ball started lagging, I wouldn't enjoy that either.
Yeah.
It's still got to be a smooth experience, that's for sure. All right, I haven't gone full screen yet, but I want to because the hat's in the background. I want to talk about these before we go. So obviously we got the legendary one on the shelf back there, your little spinner.
Sure.
Right? There was one in the game that does that, right?
Yes.
Is that why you got that?
No, I had that way before I was even into Rocket League. I bought it at a music festival probably like 10 years ago or something like that.
Okay.
And then I can't remember. I just wanted to have some kind of funny thing for my stream because back in the day, Rocket League streams were not that popular. So I was like, yeah, this will give me some attention. And then I had it on my stream and then people liked it. And then it kind of went from there. But then as the time went on, I didn't want to be known as the proper head guy, so it kind of went away. And all of my teammates and everyone around me thought it was cringe. So it drives it down a little bit.
Oh, no. I mean,
it's always been on the shelf. And on streams, it's been like a channel reward for 10,000 points or 15,000 points. I'll wear it for a game or something like that. So it's still a part of me, but it's not me.
Hey, so I'm going to tell you now, the older you get, the more that someone says something is cringe, the more you're going to want to do it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm old already.
Yeah, right. It's like the inner dad is coming out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great. Okay, so the other ones here beside it, it just looks like, what is that, a Face It?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got like a few hats there, and then I got a bunch more.
Yeah, you do? Okay.
But like,
Captain
that's
Daddy?
my graduation.
Oh, okay.
Wait, how did I pick? That's my graduation for getting through the graduating school.
Okay.
In Finland, the
That's
high
a
school
graduation
thingy.
hat? Oh, I thought that was. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a sailor hat.
That is a It looks like one.
Oh, okay.
And that's the place of that, and then I think I got something underneath that, and then I got like shirts and other hats in somewhere there. I think I haven't looked there in a long time, so I don't even remember what I have. Mostly like org stuff.
Was school? Is that just like a standard schooling that you have to go through, or was this like a post?
Yeah, so basically you have to do those 9 years of the actual school, and then the 3 extra years is high school, or then you can study to become like a mechanic or something like that. So
Gotcha.
I went to the high school, and then you can apply to universities and stuff when you go through that. So that's when I was 18, and I graduated from there, and then and I started doing Rocket League.
Right. Okay. So there wasn't. Did you have any like idea of where you wanted to go before kind of Rocket League took off, or did you never get time to think about that?
Well, when I was already in high school, I started doing the bubble tournaments and everything like that.
Right.
So it felt like that's when I went home. I was playing Rocket Leagues and just grinding. So it never felt like I found my other passions, because I was really passionate about Rocket League and competing and stuff. So I did apply for a university, and I got in right around 2017, I think.
Okay.
Right after high school, and then Thank you. And then I was there for like 2 weeks, and then moved to London for Rocket League.
Yeah.
So no school for me at that point.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So like, not to bring it back to like a sad thought, but like if everything did disappear, what do you have any ideas, or would you just try to figure it out then at that point? Like, hey, what am I gonna do?
I mean, at that point, I could be already a different person, so I'm not too fussed about that. I think because you're gonna learn as you live, and you're gonna find things you enjoy. But right now, I haven't had a thing that I enjoy as much as Rocket League, so it's a no-brainer for me to think what I want to do.
Here's the thing: if Rocket League goes, we're all screwed. So I'll just continue. I'll continue the podcast. I'll get everyone on again a year after it gets shut down, and I'll see what everyone's up to.
Yeah, perfect.
See where we're going. Reunion.
Yeah.
RL reunion. That'd be interesting. That's for sure. Okay, well, let's.
I'd be on that.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun actually. Speaking of, sorry, do you plan on still going to? I'm assuming North American events, not so much, but do you still plan on, if you don't have a team, showing up at, say, like Germany or anything like that?
Well, I'm not going to Worlds or the major this year, but next season, hopefully, I can do something like that. But yeah, I've been at events, and especially in the summer, I have like so many things that I missed out on, people graduating and weddings, and last weekend it was midsummer in Finland, so it's like a huge celebration, and I didn't think I don't want to waste any of these moments with the people that are actually close to me this summer, and I'm just gonna enjoy that because I've missed out on a lot of stuff throughout the years.
My expectations of Midsummer are also not very happy because of that movie. But have you seen that?
Oh yeah, no, okay. It's not like a horror movie or something.
Yeah, it's like a psychological thriller horror.
Okay, yeah, that's not.
It's creepy.
Basically, it's people. It's like a national holiday, and they get absolutely blasted and just hang out with friends. It's usually like the warmer time of the year, so yeah, everyone's just having a blast and enjoying the sun, and
that's awesome.
Eating and drinking and loving life, and then you burn some. I don't know what it's called. It's like a huge fire.
Like a bonfire.
I don't know what it's called. Yeah, like a massive bonfire. I don't know what it's called. It's Kokko in Finnish.
Yeah, I mean, like here, just a big fire that you just throw a bunch of shit on would be a bonfire.
Okay, yeah, just massive bonfires, and you're gonna celebrate.
That's awesome. You know what? Some of my favorite holidays are the ones where that's this kind of stuff. Like I love. So my city is pretty German settled, so we have big Oktoberfest here. I love just the camaraderie. Everyone's together to sing songs and have some drinks and party, right? And have fun, play some carnival games, whatever it is. St. Patrick's Day is another one over here in North America. Huge just party.
Yeah.
Going on. And then in Canada, there's another one called May 24. That one's a little more relaxing, but it's on May 24, you usually go up to the cottage, bring some beer, and just hang out and listen to some classic Canadian tunes and chill out by lakeside. So those are some of my favorite holidays.
Yeah, I love that. Just having a holiday where it's not about some traditions or it's just about celebrating time with your closest friends and stuff like that.
Canada literally made a holiday called Family Day just because we didn't have enough long weekends.
I love that.
So I
appreciate that.
Yeah, we made another one. I mean, we still have a lot to catch up with a lot of European places when it comes to like time off and holidays, but Canada's definitely better than the US. That's for sure.
Actually, I have to say this before I forget. I'm not going to be in Germany for the Worlds, but I'm going to be in Germany for I Am Cologne with my friends. We're just going to go watch some CS. And that is the same week as Wildcard. So I'm going to be 40 kilometers from
really?
But I'm not there for Rocket League.
That's so interesting. That's really you saying, okay, let me pull back for a bit and bring some of my life back together here.
Yeah.
Being that close and that's so... Oh,
so if someone wants to see me doing wildcard, just take an Uber. I'll be there.
Hey, we might have to. I mean, I think I'll be out there for the early days for part of wildcard. So
yeah,
that'll be. Would still love to see events at some point, but that seeing CS. Have you been to a CS event?
No, I've never done
sick.
any. I've never done anything except for Rocket League stuff.
I guess, yeah. It'll be sick. I bet you it'll be, because just having everyone there cheering for the same thing would be awesome.
Yeah, and I've just never had like a boys trip anywhere.
Right.
You can't, and I haven't really had any trips anywhere because all my trips have been for Rocket League, and then it's impossible to plan anything in Rocket League when you're a pro because off seasons I usually get fucked over. During the seasons I have tournaments every weekend, so you can't do anything. So there's no time in a year where you can do stuff, and if you do, you're gonna know it 2 weeks before.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know, like when in a good time where you can actually book stuff.
Right, because I've even seen where pros, like their families booked vacations, and they've either had a sub play in, or they've had to play from a laptop on like hotel Wi-Fi or something, like, because you can't, and like obviously families are gonna keep doing their stuff, but as an individual, just kind of stuck.
And even the pros are doing like trips, and then they have to fly back home early, and it's tragic. It's so tragic trying to have a holiday as Rocket Pro.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? I'm happy for you, because it sounds like you finally get to actually start living your life right now.
Yeah. I'm living some life right now.
Rocket League held you hostage.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't trade it for anything,
right?
Because I got to live a dream every day.
A lot of people didn't do. Yeah.
But then you miss out on the things that normal people love and enjoy those things.
Do you think that? Well, so I'm gonna ask this question because I've asked this to a few people now. Do you think the age should be raised? Like, do you feel like a lot of kids are gonna miss out on important life building skills and opportunities because they start playing so early and for so much of their early life and development years?
Yeah, I do believe so, but I don't believe you should raise the age limit because that's only gonna make it worse for everyone that is young and make them demotivated, because the people that are best at this game are actually 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
And it is crazy to me, because in other esports you don't have to raise the age limit because no one is good enough.
Yeah.
But here, Zen is waiting to compete when he's 14, and everyone's like, when can this guy play or whatever, because he is so good. So it's impossible. You always have to have the best players playing, because that's just it is an entertainment business after all, and it's sports. You play against the best, so you can't really raise the limit. But yeah, these young teenagers, they're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff, but that's gonna be the life. Like, I don't think they're gonna go back and regret they missed out on stuff when they were teenagers. They got to live everyone's dream.
True. Again, I guess you literally have lived a life where you can give an answer about that, because right, because you were through your teenage years doing this, so I guess you are the spoken authority on this.
Yeah, and well, I went pro pretty much when I was 17/18, so it was like
a little bit later.
I got to live most of the stuff, and like after when you hit 18, and when I graduated from high school, that's when you usually start going in a different paths in life. In general, your friend groups gets lost a little bit, and everyone tries to find their path in life. So I think that's perfect time to go pro in any game or do whatever you want in life.
Yeah. Hey, so I have just some fun questions on the way out. It's been fun, like getting. Honestly, if I stayed on like your journey, I could keep us here for 2 more hours, but I'm not going to do that. But I got a few questions just for fun. I read a story the other day that there was a guy in like the 90s. He bought a lifetime pass from United Airlines. It was like or $250,000, and he just for the rest of his life gets to fly for free, right? Like, and so he just travels all over the place. If you had that pass, what are your top 3 first like, not even like ones that you maybe would visit a lot? What the first 3 destinations you'd go to? Where are you going?
The weird part is that the destinations that I want to go to, I wouldn't recommend for other people, but it's just places that I haven't got to, you know.
Okay.
So, because I've been to quite a few places for Rocket League and stuff, and I've enjoyed a lot of the places I've been to. But what I want to do is visit different places where I didn't get to. So I've never been to Asia. I've never been to Africa. I want to do, like, I want to go to Australia. I think that would be like top of the list. Maybe if I can get there very cheap, because that's a very expensive flight. If you you know,
hey, you have a lifetime pass, you're good.
yeah. So if I have a lifetime pass, I'm definitely going to Australia. I'm definitely going to somewhere in Africa probably, and then third. That is a tough one.
I think you're right. I haven't been to because I've been with this too, traveling all over North America and Europe, but beyond that, I haven't seen much. So I think I'd probably be on the same path of some of those locations too.
Yeah,
like, you just
maybe actually them. Like I could go to like Hawaii or something like that.
What about
like
New Zealand? New Zealand.
Well,
looks amazing.
if I were to go to Australia, I don't think I need to go to New Zealand. I'll go somewhere other region.
I hope there's no one from New Zealand listening. Right?
No, I would love. Okay, I could trade Australia for New Zealand, but I wouldn't go if I had 3 places to go first. I'm not gonna go 2 in the same area. You know?
All right. Okay. I definitely could see some people from New Zealand saying they're not even close to the same thing and getting angry now. If you're from New Zealand, let us know in the comments. But what about Japan? A lot of people pick Japan as an early. No Japan for you?
I could go to Japan, but
not a top.
I don't know. It's like I'm not really like that into all that culture, and I think when you go to Japan, it's all about that culture and like everything, like the stereotypical things. But I'm not that into, like, I never watched anime, or I never looked at Tokyo like it's the most beautiful place on earth. Type of thing, but yeah, I wouldn't mind going there, honestly. Like, it'd be a great time, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair enough. If you don't, what about Australia makes that like your first pick?
I think it's the accent.
Is it really?
No, it just looks like a warm, nice place, and the people just seem so nice because when you can talk the same language, that's what I like about the UK as well, because people just talk the accent, and I love the different accents, and just being able to speak the language, because when you go to countries that don't speak the same language, it's like harder to like have those interactions that make it memorable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because it's also interesting too, I imagine a lot in Europe, because it's hearing so many non-native English speakers speaking English to each other. It's just, I imagine that creates a lot of miscommunication too.
Yeah, definitely. I know it's so hard when everyone's got like different accents, and then French people can always talk to French people and stuff like that. And I'm the only Finnish guy there that I can't understand anyone. There's not even any Nordic people anymore in Atlanta. Like, it is sad.
Okay, so based off accent alone, what are your 3 favorite places? Not good traveling to, just what are your 3 favorite places based on accent?
Probably like Ireland.
Okay.
Or Scotland. I don't know which one is better, to be honest. Maybe I don't know. One of those. Then second would be Australia probably, and then some like really nice UK accent. Let me think. And this is tough. I'm trying to like remember people that have.
They have so really many accents in the UK.
Yeah. It is so hard to remember. Frick, I don't know. Okay, somewhere in the UK is my third one.
He's gonna find a small village.
Good accent for it. Yeah.
Fuck, bud. I'm kind of pissed you didn't say Canada. Lottie.
Well, I've already been to Canada, so it's not as tempting, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think the accents there like flew at me that hard.
Do you hate the general? Because obviously there are different North American accents, but like do you hate the general North American accent?
No, I think that's just you just consume so much of it.
Right, the culture is very
all the English like media we consume in
it's Hollywood,
like Europe countries is usually like US, and like the accents don't like jump at your face unless it's like really Texan or something like that. So all of it sounds very similar to me.
Y'all.
I feel like, yeah,
yeah.
like it has to be like really extreme for you to know this, because other than that, it just feels like everyone speaks like very similarly.
Yeah.
Even though there is accents, obviously.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get this. Have you practiced any accents?
No, no, I can barely do normal English. Like, give me a break. I cannot do any accents. Like, no way.
Because I'm calling everyone out there. We've all at least done it in front of the mirror. Tried our different accents, but I was curious if maybe you practiced that one and we could sneak one out for you.
I can only make fun of people, like, if they do something, I just repeat them, you know. I can't create stuff on my own. Like, even my like bottle of water sounds like real. It sounds very like Finnish, so it's not happening for me.
It wasn't that bad. Keep practicing your bottle of water. I think you'll get it.
Yeah, but even that is so used that like no one's gonna laugh at that.
You'll be a native in no time. You'll blend in.
Yeah,
we're gonna have
maybe
secret.
Probably not, but maybe
secret agent Metsa coming in.
Yeah.
Undercover. That's wonderful. Hey, well, I gotta say, man, I'm really happy that you're finding the space you need. You got through the emotions that you had to, and now you're building something and a journey for yourself going forward. I think it's sick, and I'm excited, and I know a lot of people are too, that you're gonna stick in the scene and still be around. Because as we just witnessed here, you're a fun, positive, and good atmosphere, good vibe to have around. And I think that's every scene is going to be, wherever you end up, is going to be lucky to have you and your atmosphere around them. So thanks for staying with the scene longer and planning on it.
I appreciate that. Well, we'll see if people still remember me in 2 months.
They will. We'll just keep. We're gonna have you as a weekly guest. They can't forget.
Yeah, we'll have to start our own podcast and get other people on.
I like it. Well, either way, before I go, because I always do this in interviews on the RLCS. Usually here I'll just end things off. But I'm just curious, is there anything that we didn't get to cover that you wanted to say or get out there into the world? I'm sure you're going to be on more podcasts to say stuff too. But is there anything else we missed here that you wanted to get out?
Probably not. I'm not gonna lie. Like at this point, it doesn't feel like I have a lot of things I need to get out of my chest. Like the retiring thing, and that's been like everything in my head for the
no kidding
recent months. So it's like it's not like I've been thinking like, oh, people need to know this about me. I don't really care at that point anymore. It's just when I got the announcement out and got people to see me, I think, it's all out of my chest now.
That's good. And now you just gotta see what happens moving forward. It's a new chapter, but I think it's gonna be, you got a foundation to build off. So I think it's gonna be a solid chapter.
I just want all the opportunities. Just jump at me, all the opportunities, and then I just want to be involved in everything and stuff like that. But
hey, hopefully we'll see you on the desk at some point too.
Well,
you want to do that?
You gotta give me some recommendations for that. I don't think the Finnish language is my strong suit. Getting on the US desk.
No. I think you got experience and knowledge that we can extract, and your English is perfectly fine.
Well, you got the connection, so you hook me up.
I'll put the word in. Yeah, I think that'd be great to have you there involved in content as well. Just keeping your face around. Again, as I said, you're a swell guy and someone that people definitely will want to keep around. And I got to say, you have a career that anybody would be proud of to have had. and I think you're going to keep doing fun things. The opportunities will keep coming because you're a hard worker as well. So you keep up that work ethic, I think you're going to be just fine, my dude.
I appreciate that.
Hey, well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. And then, hey, maybe again, once we hit around season 2, we might get some repeat guests. So maybe we'll see you in the future. We'll probably end up seeing you on a bunch of other people's podcasts as well. But I was going to say, thanks so much for hanging out, man. It had been a while since we chatted, and I enjoyed this.
I appreciate this. It was fun. I need to just let these words out. This was a nice little platform to just talk on. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no,
you were instantly on it, messaging me for a podcast.
Yeah.
Barely had time to even be home for this, but
hey, well,
I'm glad I made it.
I am too, because I again, sometimes you just, as you said, you just need to say stuff, and I want people to be able to do that. So I'm glad you were able to. And yeah, again, hopefully in the future. But to everyone that's watching, thank you for watching and hanging out with us today, enjoying our chat. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm assuming you did. If you didn't, let us know in the comments. But I'm assuming it's just going to be all very nice things down below. While you're down there, hit the subscribe button and the like button. If you're listening on Spotify, well, sucks to be you. You missed us talking about the beautiful hats behind them because you were just listening. So maybe head on over to YouTube if you want to get involved and see the visuals. Actually, there's visuals on Spotify. You can. They have video on Spotify. It's crazy.
They do these days.
Yeah, it's wild. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll either see you in the next episode or the next season. Either way, we'll see you for some content in Boston. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.